Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the new moon. It's at 9 degrees of Scorpio on November 1st. Also, Mars is at 29 degrees of Cancer, making an opposition to Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. This is a very combative aspect. What does that mean for you? That's what we're going to talk about. While Mars making an opposition to Pluto is not that unusual, this particular opposition is very, very intense, and it coincides with the election in the United States. So let me tell you about the two players in this battle. On one side, we have Mars in Cancer. That energy is family-oriented, loves their neighborhood, loves their town, loves their country. They love it so much that they're willing to go to war for it. And on the other side, we have Pluto in Capricorn, which is very ambitious energy. And it's not an ambition for personal recognition. It's ambition because it believes that this is right. This is the best thing to do. This is the best thing for everyone. Now, currently, these two energies are on opposite sides of the playing field. So to give you a visual, this is kind of like Bruce Willis in a Die Hard movie going up against insurmountable odds. But instead of fighting bad guys, he's fighting someone who has a different opinion. And it's almost like he's fighting another Bruce Willis. So on the one side, there's Bruce Willis, who has to protect his family. He cannot leave his family vulnerable. That's Mars in Cancer. The other side, that Bruce Willis, he's fighting for a big cause, and he's willing to be relentless, even ruthless about it because it's for the greater good. That's Pluto in Capricorn. So who wins a fight like this? Well, either side could win. Honestly, they're pretty evenly matched. But the most interesting thing about this is it's a new moon in Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and co-ruled by Mars, the two Bruce Willises in this battle. So what could happen? Well, in the world, that means that there could be individuals out there who feel that they need to take up their cause, that they see the opposite side as an opponent or even a bad guy. And these people who may be representing an idea or an ideology or a belief, they believe that they must protect their family, and that could include their town or their country. And the opponent is this powerful force that is an individual or group of individuals. And so that could be a mob or the police or the Supreme Court, any individual or group who feels that they're doing something for the greater good. And this energy doesn't have to be about the election in the United States. This could be just someone who's really, really angry. So when could this happen? Well, the actual aspect between Mars and Pluto occurs on November 3rd. There is a new moon on November 1st, so that means that this energy could activate a week before November 1st or a week after. So that's quite a big window. But additionally, because Mars is going retrograde, this opposition is going to happen again on January 2nd and then again on April 26th. And so those are two more dates that we are going to have to watch out for in the future. So what should you do? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, you should make sure that whatever your position is or whatever you have that you want to keep in your life, that you make it as secure as possible. And so, as I said, this may not be about the election. This could mean that you're upset about a work situation and you're ready to go in and tell your boss what you think. But before you do that, maybe make sure that your job is secure or that you could easily find another job. The second is, don't walk into dangerous situations. And so if you see an angry mob, turn and walk the other way. But additionally, if your partner comes home and they're very angry about something, then it's probably not the best time to tell them that you don't like the way they load the dishwasher. So no aspect is all bad. There's always some balancing energy. And so there is an opportunity here. And that is that this aspect melds action with ambition. So if you think of something that you want to accomplish, this aspect gives you the energy to do it. Additionally, it makes you impervious to resistance. It gives you the energy and strength to move giant obstacles out of the way. So you can make more progress on your goals right now than you have in a long time. During this time, it's important to remember that while we cannot control other people, we can control ourselves. And so try not to react to every stimuli. Try to think before you react to this volatile energy. Additionally, and this is really important, it's quite possible that 99% of us are not going to have anything more during this time than feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit grumpy, and a little bit more energy for pursuing goals. You just have to watch out for the 1% who are caught up in this energy, who are reacting to things and are going overboard or going a little nuts. And if you want help figuring this all out, I do readings. There is a link in the description. Additionally, if you are interested in getting a copy of your chart so you can follow along on these videos more easily, there's also a link in the description for that. That is something that I send you for free. It's this nice PDF, so the link's in the description. And finally, I have a monthly newsletter that describes all of the major aspects that are happening over the course of the month. And that is free also. There's a link in the description. Okay, let's go sign by sign. Okay, Aries, we want to take all of this very strong energy and turn it to the positive, and where you can do that is in your career or at home. And so home, of course, would be the dwelling itself, so finding a home, renovating a home, but also helping family members or coming to some sort of agreement with family members. And then, of course, back to your career. That could be finding a new job, getting a promotion. And this is all connected to that new moon, which is in your area of resources, which is where you could get money for house renovations or a mortgage, or where you could find another job, where you could use money that you have to start a business, or the people that you know who've moved on to other companies to help you find a great job. And then where you want to stay aware of extra grumpy people would be at the office and at home. And I know that is a big section of your life, but that's where you want to be aware if somebody is overly reacting to this energy. Those are the two locations that they could be. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, even though the sun's not making an aspect with Mars, there's a hidden aspect here, and that is that Mars is in Cancer, ruled by the moon in Scorpio, conjunct that sun in Scorpio. And so we have this hidden aspect, and that means that there could be a connection with someone that you hadn't thought of before. You know this person already, and now you're thinking, oh, there could be a love relationship brewing here. This is also someone you're attracted to physically, or there's a good physical chemistry between the two of you. So this is a relationship more based in the physical, and then later it could grow into something else. But right now you may notice someone that you've known before and suddenly think, wow, this person is attracting me. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, there's no aspect going on between Venus and Mars, and that means that usually the two of you are, just doing your own thing. Of course, with all this energy coming around you, and we have that based in the home, do be careful that you don't make your partner your opponent. So you want to try to stay a united front, dealing with something that is external, but there is some volatility at home. So if your partner comes home and they are reacting to something, you want to try to keep a cool head, let them vent, and then deal with things in a slow, methodical manner. That way things don't get out of hand. Now, when it comes to your money, you're pulling money from Venus, which is in this area of knowledge, education, legal matters, also though foreign things, foreign countries, foreign entities, foreign companies. And so if you do anything that is connected to import-export, or you are thinking about working in another country, all of that is very strong right now. Expanding your business through marketing is really good right now. This is also about expanding your profession through some sort of professional certification. So that would be like getting credentials, taking a test for a professional license, getting a permit or something that is through the government. Also, government contracts and government jobs are very strong right now for you too. Now, when it comes to money from business or investments, Venus is not making an aspect to Pluto, nor is it making an aspect to Mars. And so you're making, well, I shouldn't say that because the new moon is there. So there's a new opportunity, but it's not quite manifesting in more money yet. So this is like a seed you're planting, but the seed hasn't grown yet, so we don't know what it's going to become. It has a lot of potential, especially with this much energy behind it, but you're probably not going to see any real results from this over the next 2 weeks. So therefore, you're making about the same as usual. Now, when it comes to money from career, so that would be like a paycheck, Venus is not making an aspect with Uranus, but it's making a square to Saturn. Now, a square can be rather combative, and so that means if you were planning to go in and talk to someone about a raise, be ready to defend your position. That said, this is still an aspect, and an aspect is necessary to win. So that means that if you go in prepared to tell them how you contribute and your history and all of that, you are able to make a good case. You could really win. But if you go in and you're not prepared, it's possible that you could get a raise that's much smaller than you want, or just be told that it has to be delayed. Okay, Taurus, this very strong, very ambitious energy could help you come up with new ideas for your life in general. Like you could make a huge decision. This could help you clear away any red tape that is stopping you from doing something, clear an obstacle that is stopping you from getting an education or getting a degree or getting a permit or a license or finishing up a lawsuit. This could also help you just get into the mindset that makes you ready to take on the bigger things that you want in your life. So this can be a very good energy for you. Now, that said, you should not ignore problems that come up when it comes to legal matters or anything that is related to a deadline that is connected to a legal matter or your education. This also says that there could be some issues around siblings, cousins, or people in the neighborhoods. You want to watch out for that. Now, where your treasure trove of resources lies is with other people, and that means that even if you are faced with something difficult, there's going to be somebody who could step up to help you, and you may find that person in and among the organization that you're dealing with, or just a friend who says, I've been through this before, I know how to get through it, or maybe it's another sibling that helps you deal with the first sibling. So there are some resources, but your resource treasure trove is with other people. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's no aspect going on between Venus and Mercury. However, the new moon is there, so there is some possibilities here of meeting someone new for a love relationship. There is some good energy for finding someone who's both emotionally compatible with you, but also there's some physical compatibility, which is nice, so that there's that mutual attraction. So when you are out in the world, or if you are meeting someone, there is more opportunities. There are more opportunities now. So consider getting out of the house to meet someone new. And then when it comes to existing love relationships, there's no aspect between Venus and Pluto or Venus and Mars. However, again, we have that new moon energy there. So something new could happen between the two of you, a new understanding, a new united front about something maybe you didn't agree about in the past, and now you're coming together to fight for this together. And so that can be very good. But because this energy is so volatile, it's also quite possible that your partner needs you right now. They need a shoulder to cry on. They need someone who's going to support them while they make a difficult decision. So you may be called upon to do that, to give your support in the situation. Now, when it comes to your money, you're pulling money from Mercury, which is very close to the end of the sign, certainly not the last planet in this chart with so much late degree energy. But Mercury is going to be changing signs pretty soon. And so this is the time when we have that transition to kind of, bring something to a conclusion. And that could mean that maybe you have a lot of promises from people that they're going to help you with your website or your videos, or that they know of a job opening or something like that. It's time to contact them and say, okay, let's set a date, or let me have that information. This is a time to basically bring the promise to the conclusion, or to call them out on it and say, is this really going to happen? And to put it into the calendar and get it set. So this is a time to send the sales letters, or make the request for the purchase, or to basically to bring it to fruition. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, even though Mercury's not making an aspect with Jupiter, Jupiter is in Gemini, which is ruled by that Mercury. So even though you are going to go through a period coming up very, very soon where you're going to have really conducive energy, right now you have a hidden aspect. That means that you might be making a little bit more than usual from some sources that maybe are a little unexpected, but again, you are about to come into a period where it's extremely strong. So look for that. And right now, just get everything into place so that you can capitalize on that when it happens. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be like a paycheck, Mercury is making a trine to Neptune. This is one of the best aspects you've had in a while for asking for a raise. Mercury is about to enter a money house. Neptune is in a money house. And they are making a harmonious aspect. So this is a time where if you ask for a raise, your boss may say, yes, we've been talking about this. We've been thinking about this for you. And so this could be quite easy for you to do. Remember, with the trine, if you don't take any action, you miss the opportunity. It just passes you by. Or you get, you get a gift card. You get a little tiny perk or something like that. But if you really want to maximize this energy, then you do want to take some action, and your results could be very positive. Okay, Gemini, where we see the power and the ambition and the energy of this aspect is in money houses for you. And that means that there could be big opportunities for you to set into motion to make more money in the future. This also could be that there are opportunities for investments, maybe pooling money together with others for investments, or to put yourself on a track of investing, to find a new money manager or somebody to help you with money. This is also about looking at your stuff and saying, what can I get rid of? How can I lighten the load? What can I sell and make more money that way? So you have some major opportunities. Of course, this is also that battlefield areas. And so you do want to be very watchful about your accounts. You want to keep an eye on your wallet, as of course we always do, but just a little bit more so now. Don't jump into any sort of get-rich-quick scheme, but look for something that has a solid foundation. Now, where we see your treasure trove of resources, the opportunities that could be coming, are in your area of work and daily routines, which I think is interesting. So it looks like some of the things that you are doing on a daily basis could really be geared toward helping you gain more power and money and control over your finances in general. And so that's what to focus on, is what can you do on a daily basis to help yourself out? Or this may mean some sort of shift at your job that then leads you to making more money. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's no aspect going on between Mercury and Venus. Venus is in a relationship house, so it's possible that someone will ask you out, or someone is pursuing you. Maybe you're not so interested, maybe you're not noticing, but a friend may tell you, that person keeps asking you out. It's also possible that you're just busy doing other things, and so your focus isn't there. So because there's no aspect, you may meet someone who's interested in you, but you pursuing someone else may not give you what you want. So if you're thinking about having a first date, you may want to have it outside this 2-week period. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, Mercury's not making an aspect with Jupiter. However, Jupiter's in Gemini, which is ruled by that Mercury, so you have a hidden aspect. But I want to tell you that very soon, these two planets are going to come into a period of very strong harmony, one that hasn't been around for probably 12 years. And so you may experience real harmony in your relationship and a way to come together to solve problems and strengthen your relationship. And so that's coming up. It's outside this 2-week period, but it's coming up very soon. So in the meantime, maybe it's important to identify the things you want to work on, but maybe not bring them up just yet, and just get ready for this really strong time that's coming up. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from the moon, which is in that area of daily routines and work. And this could indicate that there are some changes going on at your job. And that may mean new duties for you. Perhaps you have a new job entirely, so there's a learning curve. Maybe you're working with new people. If you own a business, this could be that you are gaining new employees or letting someone go. So there are some changes going on in this area, and that can help you make more money and understand how you make money. This is also about what you do on a daily basis, and so watching how you spend and what triggers your spending, or what triggers this energy in you to suddenly look for new opportunities for making money. So this is a good time to be very mindful of your daily habits and what is propelling you towards prosperity or what is pushing you away from it. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, the moon is making a trine to Saturn. You are one of the rare people in this whole video who has an aspect going on. There are very few aspects in this chart, and you're doing one of the best ones. So there are super big opportunities for you to make more money in these areas over this next 2 weeks. Now, with a trine, of course, you're going to make a little bit more automatically. Don't just rest on your laurels. Don't be lazy about this. If you take action, you could make much, much more. So that's what you want to focus on, is to use that trine energy and plant the seeds for a very big harvest over this 2-week period. I know that's a quick harvest, but yeah. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, there's no aspect going on between Moon and Mars. However, Mars is in Cancer, which is ruled by the Moon. Moon is in Scorpio, which is co-ruled by Mars. And so we have what we call mutual reception. That means these two planets are talking to each other, even though they're not making an aspect. And when two planets talk to each other, then we can have success. So that all of that said means that there is an opportunity for you to make more money in your job, and by asking for a raise, by changing jobs, by seeking a different position, or to gain some perks in your job that could be very valuable to you. Okay, Cancer, this new moon brings a lot of intense energy right to your door, and you are highly sensitive to intense energies. And so it is very important for you to recognize that what you're feeling versus what everybody else is feeling, and make sure that there's a boundary between you and everyone else. It also is important to know that because Mars is at a critical degree in your own sign, that you might feel more energy, you might have some trouble sleeping, you may feel more, you might get angry more quickly, you could even lash out at someone that you are not thinking to lash out to. So the energy is quite volatile for you. Now, that said, by staying mindful, breathing exercises, nurturing yourself, you can use this very powerful energy to remove obstacles or blocks in your path, and that would be fantastic. Additionally, this new moon energy could also help you help your kids or help yourself on a creative project. So all of that's very good. It is wise to also make a note of this energy that you're feeling during this time, because you are going to experience this again. in late December, early January, and then again in late April. So you probably want to write it down and say, this is what I experienced. It'll be slightly different then as you are learning how to deal with this energy. You'll have more command over it in the next 2 times. But if you make a note of it, then you can say, oh yeah, this is what happened. This is how I dealt with it. And that can make it easier to deal with it in the future. Now, where your power is really around who you can attract into your life, and that is you can attract very influential people who can open doors for you, people who have power and say in the world. And so that can be very helpful to you. So, but this is also where some volatility can be in your life, and that means a difficult relationship could occur where you are struggling to deal with someone because of their demands, or what they want is opposite of what you want. And then finally, your treasure trove of resources is around your creativity, your ability to come up with creative solutions or to innovate with what you have and making it into something new, as well as just your personal strength and your leadership ability. That's coming up very strong at this time. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, I've been talking all this time about the relationship between this new moon and Mars and Pluto. So this is an extremely powerful time for meeting someone new. And that means that, it's a time where you want to set up the first date, or go on the online dating site, or engage the matchmaker, or tell your friend, yes, you will go on the blind date. Like, do these things, take some steps here, and you could meet someone who just knocks you right off your feet in a good way. So because you have such really strong relationship energy at this time. And then when it comes to existing love relationships, the moon's making a trine to Saturn. So we have some harmonious energy going on between the two of you, which means that you're more likely to be a united front against whatever is going on out in the world, whether that is personally knocking on your door or it's just in general in the world. The two of you can find a really harmonious connection, common ground, a way to support each other. So your existing love relationship could be going along quite well during this time. Now, when it comes to your money, you're pulling money from the sun in your area of creativity and fun and risk-taking. And of course, it's pulling energy from both that Mars and Pluto. And so that means that you have more resources to draw from. You have more opportunities to make money. You can connect with powerful people who could open doors for you to do collaborations or to help you find a job. So you want to take the risk of asking for these things. You want to push and say, I know you're really busy, but let's try and get a meeting happening. Or if you could just send this note for me, you could get an obstacle out of the way, but you could also make incredible progress just by asking. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, the sun is not making an aspect with Uranus, but it's making a trine to Saturn. So it is likely that you're going to make more money than usual over this 2-week period. Some of that is connected to you taking bold steps forward, you being a leader, but the energy here is very good for collecting on investments, making good sales, expanding your business. So, yeah. Oh, and I guess I should say, this is a trine. So you'll make a little bit more money if you just sleep through this process. But if you take action, you will make much more money. So that's what you want to do, is take the actions. That's what brings the results. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, the sun's not making an aspect with Venus. So it is difficult for you to either connect with your manager, or there's stuff going on in the company. There's such volatile energy during this time. There may be big changes in the company, and so raises are on hold. If you are seeking a new job, then you may be in that process of going back and forth, and it extends outside that 2-week period. So the energy's not so strong right now. It will line up better in the future, actually quite soon. Well, not super soon, in the next 3 weeks or so. It's going to line up better. So it will be again this year that it will be better. And so in the meantime, it's just not so easy to get a raise at this time. Okay, Leo, this is very powerful energy, and you as a Leo, you are used to dealing with powerful energy. This is energy, though, that you can direct, and that would help you gain more of what you're looking for. So first of all, it is about removing obstacles in your daily life. That is, what are the things that are stopping you from achieving your goals, or if you're trying to do some ambitious project, how to motivate yourself. That's the energy that it can really help you right now to get that motivation and to stop anything that is impeding you. But also, this is about getting help from the universe, and that might be through magic, feng shui, lighting candles, saying prayers, doing a meditation. Those things really work for you right now. It's like your voice, like you have a megaphone, and so that is an opportunity for you to gain more help from the greater universe for what it is that you want. Now, where the challenge for you could be with this very powerful energy is that there may be some changes going on at work that you don't agree with, or there could be changes of personnel. If you own a business, some key employee may be getting ready to walk out the door, or they have already left and you're scrambling to fill their position. This also may be that some of the things that you use as an escape are extremely tempting right now, and so that you may be caught up in some behaviors that you say to yourself, why do I keep doing this? How can I stop doing this? That energy, you don't want that to take control of you. This is powerful energy, but remember, you are powerful, and so you don't have to have this energy control you. You can control this by being mindful and by focusing on what is in your control and what is outside of your control. Now, your treasure trove of resources is right at the base of your chart, and that would indicate that family could be a resource that could be helpful, or the foundation that you have set up for yourself. Foundations are generally, like that you have an emergency fund, that you have a house and the rent is paid for the month, or that you have these things that are resources that you can grab hold of in a pinch. This is also in your area of ancestors, and so calling in that energy from ancestors, again through prayer or meditation or lighting a candle, you can get help that way. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's no aspect going on between the Sun and Jupiter, and that's not surprising. There are actually very few aspects in this chart, which is kind of an indication that our attention shouldn't be on certain things, but focused on taking the action to achieve our goals, because that's where this energy is so strong, is to just finish a goal. Then you might say to me, well, a love relationship is my goal, but that could mean that you could work on maybe more the internal issues that are going on, what is stopping you, and letting go of maybe someone from the past or past hurts, or doing those spiritual things, those spiritual steps to get yourself ready for a love relationship or to call in that love relationship. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, it's a whole different story, and that is because even though the Sun's not making an aspect with Uranus, it's making a trine to Saturn. So the two of you have more harmony in your relationship. You can come together and find a solution to problems. You can also come together as a united front in case something external is going on in your lives. So you can really support each other and take care of each other at this time. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Mercury, which is at the base of your chart, and it's in this area of foundations, and of course Mercury's in Scorpio with all this intense energy, and so this is about looking around to make sure that you are solid, that you are secure as much as you can be. And that might mean that you are focusing on your savings and maybe keeping some savings liquid so you have an emergency fund, to make sure that you've got a support system in your family and how you're helping each other and connecting with each other. And then also going through your skills, your abilities, understanding that, if something happened, you can rely on yourself because you have skills and experience and you have this support system that you have created. So this is about reviewing your foundation, because from a foundation, kind of like a launch pad, it gives you the ability to launch. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, Mercury's making a trine to Neptune. And Neptune's in a money house, and so we have some very harmonious energy for making more money over the next 2 weeks. Now, a trine is very easy energy, which means you'll make a little bit of money even if you do nothing, but you can make much more if you take some action, and so take some action. And when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, Mercury doing that trine to Neptune, and it has a secret aspect with Jupiter, which is in that house. You have some things lining up now that do say there are some opportunities to make more money in your job. And so that may be that you are negotiating for a higher salary in a new job, or that you are talking to your supervisor. It looks like something that you have been working on in the past is starting to happen. Of course, because of this crazy energy, if everybody is really stressed out, then don't work on this now, because you're going to have good energy lasting for quite a while this year. So you're going to hear me say over and over, this is a good time to ask. So like if your boss is really stressed, if there's something going on in the company because of this very volatile energy that tells you don't ask right now, there's going to be times to ask in the future. Okay, Virgo, the power of this aspect for you would be located in the area of groups, and that means that you could do some extremely strong networking right now. You could find a group or organization that is willing to support you or help you open doors to whatever it is you want to do. But there's also very strong energy for you taking a leadership role and to create something for yourself. And that is, it's like you're ready to push yourself beyond the confines of where you were in the past. You're ready to take a risk and leap forward. And that is all fantastic. Now, the difficult energy could be around friendships. There may be some differences of opinions going on, or if there is a love relationship happening, there may be some challenges around that, challenges with your kids. Maybe they're going through something and you need to focus some energy to help them. Now, your treasure trove of where you can get resources is actually with both your ideas, and that is that you can gain the information that you need. Like you turn on YouTube and the exact video that you need is right there, that has the answer, or that helps you remember the connection that you have. You can also find perhaps some help through neighbors or siblings, also cousins, relatives who are around your same age. That can be also some help, or help within your community. So, as I said, neighbors, but even in your town, so you can find some help. So all that put together says that it's probably time to launch something important in your life, something you've been working on for a while, that you're getting ready to say, I'm going to put this out into the world and see what kind of response I get. But recognizing that everybody's got a lot of stuff going on, and so don't measure the response so much as just celebrate the fact that you did it, that you got it out there. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, Mercury's not making an aspect with Saturn, and that's not surprising. There's not a lot of aspects in this chart at all, and so that happens when we're supposed to be focused on something else. And so this means that right now, the dating and all of that, it just may not be a priority for you. Your attention may be elsewhere. And so during this time, while you could be making new friends through these organizations and connections, a love relationship is something that someone may ask you out, but you might not even notice during this time. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, the energy is quite different, and that is Mercury is making a trine to Neptune. So there's a lot of harmony now between you and your partner. You can be a united front if there's something going on around you, but you could also come up with solutions to problems that you've had for a while, or you may just feel more comfortable with each other now. You're more in sync together. So things are flowing in your love relationship now. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Venus, which is right now at the base of your chart. And that indicates that your family could be a resource for you. Your home is a resource for you. And that could be, maybe working out of the home, or that, home is where you store your inventory, or that you're renting out a room, or that you're selling your house for a profit. So these sort of things could be a resource. This is also, though, your foundation, and that is to remember what you have going for you. And so this is your foundation of knowledge. This is your foundation of experience. This is what you already have in the way of tools to do your work, or the supplies that you need to get something done. And this is also ancestors. And so calling in that help from your ancestors through prayer or meditation or lighting a candle, things like that, that would then alert your ancestors that you want some help, you want some assistance. That's what you have access to at this time. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, you're making about the same as usual. There's no aspect going on between Venus and Mars. As I said before, there's not a lot of aspects this time, and that's because this energy is so strong, so powerful, that our attention is just elsewhere. So it's likely that these two forces are going to line up in the future. So in the meantime, just be aware that other people are going through a lot. And so it may be difficult for somebody to come up with an answer about whether they're going to purchase your services, or it may be hard to get a hold of your broker or things like that. So just try to be patient with people as they are going through whatever they're going through. And then when it comes to money derived from careers, so that would be a paycheck, not only is Venus not making an aspect with the moon, you have this very volatile energy in one of those houses. And so this is a time where probably asking for a raise is not advised. There may be some changes going on in the company or in the payment structure that your company does, or something going on with management, so they have to wait. So this is not a great time to be looking for a raise. If you are, of course, negotiating for a new job, it's still worth it to ask for the maximum, to ask for more. I shouldn't say the maximum because you're not doing an aspect, but to ask for more and see what you get. But you don't want to necessarily price yourself out of the job. And so be very cognizant if the person that, if they say, like, we have a budget, we have some rules, they're probably going to stick to those at this time. There's probably not a lot of wiggle room with this particular energy. Okay, Libra, where the power is in this energy for you is in your area of home and family as well as career. That means that there can be something dealing with home where you could get support from family members, or the fact that you have this place to live that could be an office, or storage for your inventory, or that you could maybe make money through your house, or all possible points of power, or that this is a gathering place for your friends, or where you could meet family members and come up with solutions for things. So that's one of the sides. And then the other side is that there is power in your career right now, and that is your reputation out in the world your knowledge, your skills, your contacts. That's where you have power and where you can have ambition. And so the focus right now might be getting a better job or finding new ways of making money, as well as, is this the right home for you? Maybe you're doing renovations in the home. Maybe you're looking for a new place. So all of these types of big things that you're working on, you can do during this time, tapping into this powerful energy. And then where your treasure trove of resources is actually in your area of money. And that is that as you are doing things, then the universe is going to offer you opportunities to bring in more support. So if there is something that causes a job change, then you can find another job. If there is a position change at work, you can negotiate for more money. There are some big opportunities here that will allow you to bring in the resources that you need. That's what this new moon is about, is what can I do that's new to bring in more money? We'll talk about more money in a second, but let's get to love. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, even though Venus is not making an aspect with Uranus, it is making a square to Saturn. And that is at least an aspect. Squares are hard. It does mean that action is needed. And that might mean that, you see this person, you really want to date them, and now you have an opportunity to ask them out, and this is the time. And that it may be that somebody is offering you an opportunity for a blind date. Say yes. Like, some action is needed, and then some positive results can come. So that's the energy of this square, is if you take the chance, you could win. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, there's no aspect going on between Venus and Mars. And so in general, that means that the two of you are just doing your own lives. And because there's no aspect, it's difficult to work out issues or to be a united front for anything. But because there's so much going on, and because your area of home and family is lit up, what could be happening is that the two of you are trying to help each other, but you may not find that common ground very easily that is needed for the situation. So, and that is maybe your partner comes in and says, I'm going to change my job, and you're thinking, oh goodness, how do we pay the mortgage? It's more necessary right now to switch to say, let's talk about your job, and then address the issues and worries that you might have as the repercussions of whatever it is they're planning. So it's going to take that self-control and that thoughtfulness and mindfulness to hold off on what's going on with you to deal with what's happening with them. And that's what helps your existing love relationship at this time. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Pluto and Mars, who are doing this head-to-head battle, which indicates that there are two things that you want to do, and they may be diametrically opposed to each other. And so one of them you might consider is a safer route. One of them you might think is a bolder move. There may be some way that you can meld the two of these, but what's probable is that you're going to try both, and to maybe step out and see if this is going to work, and then step back and see if this is going to work. But what's really clear is you are going to be taking action, and opportunities are going to be knocking on your door. And so these opportunities may be big, they may be way outside your comfort zone, but consider them before you say no. Again, one of the most important parts of this aspect is to not react to things, but to look at them mindfully and remind yourself that you're in control of the situation. And so when these opportunities come in, that you sit down and think it through before you give a response. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, you're probably making about the same as usual, because Venus is not making an aspect with Pluto, nor is it making an aspect with Mars. That said, because the new moon is in this area, it may be that you're starting something new, but you get the benefits of it outside this 2-week period. That's the more likely scenario that's happening at this time. So therefore, keep planting those seeds. That's the way to get a big harvest in the future. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, you're in a really interesting situation, because even though there's not a direct aspect between Sun and Pluto and Sun and Mars, there is a connection, especially to that Mars, and that is that the Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon in Scorpio, which is conjunct the sun. So you have a hidden aspect. So this could be a time where if you keep your ear to the ground, you're going to hear of an opportunity at work to make more money. This could be a position opening, a restructuring of the org chart, or a new opportunity that exists outside the company. So you just want to keep your ears open, because that could lead to more money in your job. Okay, Scorpio, this is your new moon, and that means that you are starting your lunar year. And what a lunar year this is going to be. So many opportunities for you. This lunar year, of course, lasts for 12 months, but it carries this energy of intensity and opportunity for you. This is about exploring new ideas, breaking through those limiting beliefs that you have. This could bring opportunities for your career. This could bring some opportunities around education, travel. There could be something about your home and home ownership, or a move. So you have lots and lots of opportunities. Now, this is also with that Pluto and Mars. There could be some battles going on with legal matters, or something about paperwork, something dealing with school. Maybe you are, dealing with some sort of, financial aid thing, or trying to get your transcripts or things like that. So you do have some battles that you have to wage, and just consciously do these. Just, go through the steps and get this done. Right now, you have a lot of power. You have a lot of control over what is happening. So you just want to take the steps so that you can achieve your goals. And if we look at where the treasure trove of resources is, it actually resides within you. That means that all of this that you want to have, you are capable of doing. So it's time to let go of procrastination and things that are holding you back, and to stop waiting for somebody to choose you, but to be the leader and say, I'm just going to go do this. And you might say to yourself, I don't know how to do this. That's the Pluto Mars here in this areas of information and knowledge and education. And that is, okay, I'm going to go find how to do this. Sometimes it's just about, how to construct that question, what to ask, what are the terms that you need to do. And you just keep asking the different questions until you get that answer. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's an aspect between Pluto and Neptune. Neptune's making a trine to Mars. Like, there's some very good energy during this time. Now, it's volatile. I mean, you could meet someone who just turns your world upside down. And that's not necessarily always bad. That could be very exciting and very fun. But just to recognize this is probably not going to be a quiet, sedate sort of, type of relationship where you're just sitting on the sofa with each other. This could be quite an adventure. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, there's no aspect going on between Venus and Pluto or Venus and Mars. And so the energy here is more that there's a lot going on, but the two of you are just working on your own stuff. It is hard to come together during this time to work on problems or to solve things, and so you'll have to be very conscious of the fact that you might be going through something, but they are in their own little world. Or if they're going through something and they bring the problem to you, you may be thinking about it in the wrong way. Instead, just try to be present and listen to them, because your mind's just going to go elsewhere because there's no aspect here. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Jupiter, which is in a money house, and it is expanding the amount of resources that are available to you. That means that there are more people who are willing to step up and help you out, more access to you, get more access to information, and you get more access to money in general. So that does mean that, if you're looking for a loan, if you're looking for a grant, a scholarship, or something like that, you have more energy towards that right now. And so even if the grants or things like that are announced outside this 2-week period, this would be the time to put your name into the ring about this. Do the application, send off the request, all of the things that you can say, like put the fishing line out for multiple things during this time is what I'm trying to say. And that you could bring in something, a sizable catch. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, there is a secret hidden aspect between Mercury and Jupiter, and that is that Jupiter is in Gemini and it's ruled by that Mercury. But pretty soon these two are going to line up even better, and so there's going to be many more opportunities coming up, but you do have still some. So I think you'll make a little bit more than usual during this 2-week period, and that could be that some of these opportunities start to come in, but the bigger opportunities are still on their way. But there's some real bright spots coming up for you. So you want to pay attention to opportunities and make sure that you are poised, ready to jump on those when they come around. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that's like a paycheck, it's very similar energy here. And I think that right now you could get more perks than actual cash, but if you wait just a little bit, it's going to line up for several weeks for you to have much more money. And so if you're negotiating a salary, of course, for a new job, then you definitely want to do that now. But say, and when can we talk about this again? But also, if you are negotiating for a raise and they say, hey, let's talk in a couple of weeks, you say, okay. So because the energy will be much better at that time. Okay, Sagittarius, this very intense yet powerful energy is really going to help you clear out obstacles towards money, as well as situations where you may not have felt like you had a lot of power or control, where you actually could be powerful and could have control of the situation, but it is about maybe being a leader or just deciding that you want to be this. I know that sounds a little bit vague, and I want to be practical here. And so that is like, if you're in a situation, it's time to stop and think, what does the person want? What kind of power do they have? What power do you have in this situation? And break it down. If you can be deliberate with this energy, you can make a leap forward. Now, the challenge of this is there is possibly some pressure on your finances. This could also be pressure on your resources. So someone may have promised you that they were going to do something and now they can't follow through, or that you thought some money was going to be there, but it's going to be delayed. So those sort of things could come up during this time. And this is a time where you want to really assert yourself towards what you want. Don't just be passive, but make phone calls, connect with people, look for alternatives. Now, your treasure trove of resources is actually located in the area of spirituality and intuition. And so this is about tapping into the greater universe and what the universe could offer. So that means if a source of a resource dries up, the universe could provide you multiple other resources or other sources, and so, but you have to ask. And so you ask by doing things like feng shui, placing your cures. If you already have cures, you may want to shift them a little bit. Maybe the chi energy has moved, which it does all the time, and now it's not reaching that cure. Or the cure's been there so long that it's just it's not recognizing the energy. Think of feng shui as kind of like acupuncture needles for your house. And so as you put it in, as you place the cure, that's when you get the most energy. This is also where you can access the universe through prayer, meditation, magic, lighting candles, doing chanting. Those sort of things are very, very effective for you right now. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's no aspect going on between Jupiter and Mars. So it's really just an opportunity for you to focus on other things. So there's no aspect going on. It's more challenging to meet someone at this time. So if you were planning on meeting somebody for a first date, just, push it outside this 2-week period. Because the things that could happen, like you meet at the wrong place or you show up at the wrong time, those are more likely, because this is more like energy of two ships passing in the night. It's harder for you to find that person during this time because there's no aspect. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, it is a different story. There's a hidden aspect between Mercury and Jupiter going on that we've talked about before, because Jupiter is in Gemini and that is ruled by Mercury. And this energy is going to get even better as we go forward, and we'll be talking about that in the next video. But right now, just know that there is this compatibility going on between you and your partner that is strengthening, that is getting better. And so you can find more things, more ways to solve problems, more common ground. You can also unite together for things that are going on outside the world, so you're more of a united front when you need to be. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Saturn, which is at the base of your chart and not really interacting much with all of these chaotic aspects. And so this means that what's necessary is to go back to basics, or to shore up your foundation. So foundational things would be, making sure that your website works well and it works quickly. Make sure that your automatic deposits are going into the right accounts. And if you don't have those set up, to set those up. If your company has opportunities for stock purchases, a 401k match or something like that, this is a good time to go through that paperwork and look through it, make sure that all the right boxes are checked. Basically anything that makes you more safe and secure, that's what you want to do when it comes to your money during this time. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, you have some very good energy. The moon is making a trine to Saturn. And that means that you are likely to make more money over this next 2 weeks. Plus, you could plant seeds for a bigger harvest later. Now, it is a trine, and a trine means that if you do nothing, you'll make a little bit more. But if you take some action, you could make a lot more. So this is a time where you could find people more interested in buying your products, more interested in engaging with you for your services, and more opportunities for investments. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that's a paycheck, Venus is making a square to Saturn. And a square is an aspect, and you need an aspect to get something going. But a square is rather a combative aspect in a time where there's a lot of combative energy. So you're going to have to feel out your supervisor. If your supervisor comes in and their hair is on fire, this is not the time to ask. But if the things are relatively calm and you find that you have a shared experience in talking about all the things that are happening in the world, this could be an ideal time for you to ask for a raise or perks or some sort of promotion. So you have good energy at this time. Okay, Capricorn, your power and your abilities right now rest in your connections with others. And that means that you could meet important people, influential people who could help you move forward on whatever projects you're working on. This also could bring some interesting people for friendships or other sort of partnerships. Now, that said, this is still that combative energy, so you are going to run into people also who want to challenge you. Now, the interesting part of this dynamic is that you own that Pluto, And so you may be going into situations with the idea of saying, look, I'm doing something for the greater good. This is for the bigger picture. This is going to help all of us. But you may not realize that you are saying something that is causing them to feel insecure about protecting their home or their family or their very personal interests. So with that, if you can stay aware of how your words are landing, how they are reacting to what you're doing, you could guide them to a solution that helps both of you. So just keeping your eyes open. You are very intuitive when it comes to business naturally, so you can do this. Just recognize that if a person is backing off, to just back off yourself until they are in a place that they can hear you. Now, where your treasure trove of resources lies is in groups and organizations and the community itself. So this is a great time for you to go back to networking or doing things to bring your community together. That might mean taking a leadership role for something that's for charity or something that's political or something even that's a part of your church or your synagogue, so that you can meet like-minded people and connect with them. They're going to be your treasure trove of resources at this time. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, Venus is making a square to Saturn. And a square it can be a combative aspect, but it also is a very energetic aspect. And so that means you could meet someone for a love relationship, and this person might be someone who has high energy. Maybe they work out a lot. Maybe they're just a big presence in the room. So, but this also can be that you may be getting pushed a lot from friends and family to move towards a relationship, or you might find someone who's extremely enthusiastic about going out with you. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, you have a very nice moon trine Saturn. And so that is that the two of you are on the same page. There's more harmony in the relationship. The world may be doing a lot of high energy stuff, but the two of you could be a united front when it comes to dealing with whatever the universe is throwing at you. So this could be a very good time for you. You could work out problems, you could come to a mutual agreement about things, and you could just have more harmony in your relationship in general. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Saturn, which is in your house of communication. That means get your paperwork done, etc. But also Uranus, and Uranus is now part of a treasure chest in this chart. And so that indicates that there are opportunities, but you're going to have to dig for it, or you have to use the map to find it. So this may be necessary for you to stop and look at the clues of what is working for you financially and what is not working for you, and start to dig for the treasure that way. This also could be that you may have some information from others that is extremely helpful, like they've given you the treasure map, but you've been so busy that you haven't had time to look at what the map is saying. So in this particular case, this is about slowing down and asking yourself those very important questions of where is the money, where should I dig for it, where should I look for it, asking the questions of where and how versus why is this happening, Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, the sun's not making an aspect with Uranus, but it's making a lovely trine to Saturn. So therefore, there is a big opportunity over the next 2 weeks for you to make more money than usual. Now, with a trine, it's very necessary that you take action. If you don't, you'll make a little bit more money, but you could make a lot more if you take action. So this is a great time to go out there and send out your email marketing, talk to your list, look at your investments. There are real money opportunities for you for the next 2 weeks. And then when it comes to money derived from careers, so that's a paycheck, you have some really positive energy here. And that is that Uranus is making a trine to Pluto, plus the new moon is there. So what could happen is you might ask for a raise and they may say, we're developing a whole new section or a whole new job description for you. You could get a promotion, or if you are looking for a new job, you could make more money in that new job. So this is a really good time to either focus on your current job or start looking for a new job, because you could absolutely secure a better paycheck. Okay, Aquarius, the power that you have with this aspect is that you may be getting unexpected help from the universe. Like things line up, that luck seems to go your way. And this could happen in small ways. You just get the right parking place, you get to the front of the line, or this could be big ways where you get a hold of the person that you're wanting to get a hold of, that person who's an influencer text you back. The opportunities here are big. Now, the challenge is, because this is still challenging energy, that you may be doing things in your life, in your daily life, that are just slowing you down. And this would include staying up too late, doing too many things that are more considered escapes, and not paying attention to the opportunities, or maybe even just the work you have to do to get ready for the opportunities that you want. So, and it's possible there are some issues around motivation, but it's more likely that it's a fear of success, that it is that the opportunities that you're looking for are so big and you feel it's just too big to handle. So, but there has to be at some point this recognition that if you were dreaming it, there's a reason for it. So maybe look at what's the smaller version of that if this is too big, or just to trust yourself and go for this thing that is big and allow yourself to have that success. Now, where that treasure trove of opportunities is for you is actually in your reputation and social standing. That is how you connect with others. And so making an announcement to people that you're going to pursue something, or telling people what you've been up to so you can get support from that. This is also around job. And so if you're looking for a new job, you have really good prospects right now. If you're going to change jobs, you have good prospects right now. So if you want a promotion, that is also possible. So that's where some of these energies are, but it is about being proactive and not just allowing something to come to you, because from that standpoint, it could make it, the thing may not find you because you are in your escape mode. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, you've got a very interesting Mercury opposed Uranus. And so that is kind of sometimes like opposites attract. So you may attract someone who's very different than your quote unquote type. Or this is somebody who maybe is in your life, but you've never considered them in the role of a love relationship before. Or this is someone pushes you into a blind date and you find someone who really you connect with, even though you never wanted to go on a blind date before. So there's a little push that's happening here. And as you do, there is an opportunity to meet up with somebody who is very interesting, but very different than someone you would normally date. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, the sun's not making an aspect to Uranus, but it is making a nice trine to Saturn, and that's your co-ruler. And so there is a more harmony in your relationship than usual. That means you are agreeing on more things, that you can come together to solve problems, to be a united front on something that's important, that you can work out the differences between the two of you. So in general, I think you're going to have more harmony in your relationship over the next 2 weeks. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Jupiter, which is in your house of creativity and risk-taking. It's been there for a while. It will be there for a while. But most importantly, you pull money from Neptune. And Neptune's in a grand trine with Mars and Mercury. Now, grand trines are great because it means that once you get started, the momentum is just like rolling down a hill. Like, you don't need to expend the gas, you can just coast, but you have to get things started. So think about what it is that you've been working on that now needs to, what seed needs to be planted so that you can get the momentum going. So this is a rare opportunity. This doesn't line up all the time. You have it for 2 weeks. So look at what you can do to get something started, whether that's your investments, your business, talking to your boss, whatever it is, just get it started. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, Mercury's making a trine to Neptune, as we just pointed out, and that means that you're probably going to make more money over the next 2 weeks from these sources. With a trine, when it's just a single trine, you do need to do some sort of activity to get it started. If you do nothing, you'll make a little bit more than usual, but if you do extra, you could make quite a bit more than usual, so you do want to activate this energy. And when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be like a paycheck, even though there's no aspect between Jupiter and Neptune, the new moon is right up in your house of career. It's elevated in your chart. There are some really good opportunities for you to talk to your supervisor now about getting more money or getting a perk, or if you're changing jobs, you really should be talking to them about getting more money because the opportunities for you are quite strong right now. And this energy actually is going to line up again multiple times, but maybe not this year. So you're going to get this again next year really strong for a longer period of time. But right now, this 2 weeks could be your opportunity to get more money. Okay, Pisces, the opportunities and the power and control that you can have is all centered around creativity, creative projects, taking risks, expanding your world, as well as being involved in the community, finding your tribe, finding a following. That's where you've got real power and where you can remove obstacles. Now, there's also, though, the other side of this opposition, and that can mean that you feel like you're mired in perfectionism or procrastination, and that's why you're not taking these chances creatively, or that you are worried about what other people are going to say, and so you're holding yourself back, where you're thinking that you have to please everybody instead of just those people who resonate with your message. Now, where your treasure trove of resources is both in the area of knowledge and wisdom. And so that is that all the information that you need, all the things that you don't know how to do, there's someone who did an instructional video on it. There is the information out there. And so you just need to ask the question and then the answer comes. But also, there is answers that can come from a higher force for you, the universe itself. So as you ask the questions, you can get answers. But remember to focus on how questions or what questions, like how do I do this or what do I do with this, versus why is this happening? Those sort of questions, are the answers that get a little vague from the universe. And it's in the scope of things may not be as important as how do I get this done or what's my next step. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, the moon is making a sesquiquadrate to Neptune. Now, a sesquiquadrate is one of those interesting aspects that says you win the prize, but it comes with a set of responsibilities or duties that could be a little bit arduous. So what does that mean in a love relationship? Well, if you get into a relationship, it means that you lose some of your single life privileges. You don't have full control of the remote. You have to consider somebody else's feelings, etc. So being single has benefits and being in a relationship has benefits. So when we see a sesquiquadrate energy, we know that, yes, you can find a new relationship, but that does mean that there's going to be now some limitations on your time, some new obligations that you have, or new responsibilities. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, it's an entirely different story. Mercury is making a lovely trine to Neptune. So the two of you can have more harmony in your relationship. You're more on the same page at this time. You're able to come together as a united front to deal with things that are happening in your lives, or that are coming in from the outside world. So you can find more peace in your relationship. You can have more acceptance in the relationship. Over this next 2 weeks, you could just feel more harmony in general. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Mars, which is at this critical degree doing this opposition to Pluto. And so this is literally that you have the energy and now, all the things that you need, the courage and the determination to achieve your goal, but there is like a huge obstacle in the path. And so yes, there's an obstacle, and now you have the strength and the energy to move that obstacle. So if you say, oh, there shouldn't be an obstacle there, or I wish there wasn't an obstacle there, that's kind of wasting time, versus, oh, let's identify the obstacle and let's find the best way to move this obstacle. Now, obstacles for you at this time could be that the people that were going to help you with this can't, they're too busy, or that the resources that you thought were going to be available aren't there, but there are other resources you could use, or that it's not as easy as you thought it would be, or it's not as interesting as you thought it would be. There's a lot of, when we're trying to do something, it tends to be harder than it looks on YouTube. Like when we see things, in the world, we only see the highlights. And so, but most things, they take a lot of work. They take a lot of effort. And if we do that, we can get amply rewarded, but we can get disappointed because we thought it would be easier. And so in this particular case, that could be the obstacle. It's just harder than you thought. And then you say, okay, well, now it is what it is, but you have the energy to do the harder things now. So that's where your money is. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, you're making about the same as usual. There's no aspect going on between Mars and Venus. And this means that as you plant seeds, there may be people who want to buy your stuff, but they buy it outside the 2-week period. Profits from investments come later. This energy is going to line up better in the future. And so you are going to hear me say, here's an opportunity, there's an opportunity. But in the meantime, it's still good to plant seeds. So you keep working on the things you're working on, and you will harvest later. Now, when it comes to money from career, so that would be a paycheck, Mars is making a sesquiquadrate to Saturn. So here you get the sesquiquadrate again. You're the only sign that's getting a double sesquiquadrate. And a sesquiquadrate, again, it's an aspect, and you need an aspect to make more money in your job. So yay for that. But I've told this story before. This is like in the old days, we used to go to the county fair, and there would be this game where if you tossed a ping pong ball into a little fish bowl, you'd win a fish. So this is, you do it, you win the fish. But now you've received this fish, so you're carrying around this little plastic bag with water in and your fish. And instead of going out and playing with your friends, you've got to go home and get a fish bowl and fish food, and you got to take care of this little new pet in your life. So you win and you get more responsibilities. And so that's what could happen with your job. You could get the raise, but it's going to come with more duties. You could get a new position, but it comes with a learning curve or a different team. So you may want to wait until this energy lines up better, which it will, but for you, it is going to take a while. We're looking at probably April or May before we get some real momentum going again. So if you want to get a raise, you might want to take this aspect, even though it does have some challenges attached to it, or you just cool your heels and wait till next year, and then this aspect will line up better. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want a copy of your chart, I will send you a free PDF. There is a link in the description. If you want to know more about what's going on for you, I do readings. There is a link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.